Hi guys, it's KINO. Welcome to another video. So as you can see from the title, in today's Pick a Card, we are going to be answering the questions, will you be rich? Will you be successful? Will you be famous in this life? I'm definitely gonna be looking out for signs of material wealth and abundance in this reading, but I also want to keep in mind the different types of abundance. So if I see other kinds of abundance coming up in your reading, I will of course mention those as well. For example, an abundance of love, of creativity, of ideas, of freedom, of wisdom. There's so many different ways to be rich and there's so many different ways to be successful. So I want to see what forms those will take in your life, and we also want to see how you are going to achieve this abundance and this success and how it's going to affect your life and the life of others around you. So that's basically what we're going to look at today. Yeah, let's go right into your options. So there are 4 readings for you guys to choose from today. I'm going to show you each of the crystals one by one, and then please pick whichever one or ones you feel drawn to the most. Number 1 is green calcite. Number 2 is citrine. Number 3 is celestite. And number 4 is fire quartz. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number ones, so if you guys chose the green calcite, this is going to be your reading. So we're going to start off the reading by taking a look at these 3 oracle cards here, and this is going to give us our first look at your energy and the types of success and abundance that you're currently in alignment with. And you can think of this part of the reading as an energy check. So if what I'm describing here does sound like you and your situation, that's an indication that this is in fact your group, but if not, you may feel called to try out another group. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So the first card that we have for group number 1 is Libra, the mediator. Fair, people pleaser, balanced, sociable, sensible, diplomatic, polished, easygoing, fickle, indecisive, harmonious, self-indulgence, ruler of the 7th house. We also have the stars and the angel of love. One thing that I do want to say with this group, an energy that I was picking up is like being sort of a perfectionist or having very high standards for yourself, but then being very, very lenient when it comes to other people's work. So like you would be very, very strict with yourself to put out the best quality work and not to inconvenience anybody and to please anybody that you're working with. And then somebody else could be kind of dropping the ball or doing subpar work, and you would be like, oh, that's okay, and just be really forgiving towards them. So it's kind of this double standard where you're only being really harsh on yourself. That was kind of a specific energy that came through. But can I just say how sweet your energy is with this Libra card and with this angel of love? I totally think that this angel of love is talking about you. And right away what I'm seeing for you guys is that in your definition of success, in order to feel truly successful, I think you need to be doing something that is making people happy, or that is helping people, or that is lifting people up. Like your version of success includes the positive impact that you have on others. It's something that's very, very important. With this Libra card here, it could literally be very well that you guys have Libra placements, or that you have a lot of 7th house placements. Although I do think that it's more so talking about your energy in general, like the current energy that you guys might be in. So first of all, I think that you guys are great with people. And I think that no matter what environment you step into or what kind of community you step into, I think you're very, very well liked. And maybe you're more well liked than you realize. I'm getting the feeling that you are more charming than you think, or you're more of a people person than you think, or maybe you know this about yourself, but people just tend to naturally take a liking to you and be you know, gravitated towards you. I think you guys have a very beautiful aura. I think you have a very pure energy. And even if people, you know, don't believe in that kind of stuff, like auras and energy, I think they can still definitely sense it, and they really want to be around you. What I'm kind of seeing is that at this time, you're being encouraged to really assess the reasons for why you're doing what you're doing, like why you're investing energy into the things that you are, especially when it comes to like your work, your responsibilities, your commitments, the communities that you belong to, the communities that you invest in. It's sort of being hinted with these cards that like by day, you're out there fulfilling your duties, you're out there doing your work, and then it's like at night, you go home to this secret version of you, or you go home to your inner world, and you dream about doing something else. You dream about doing your passion. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from this stars card. The 6 hearts here, it is making me think of the 6 of cups, because the 6 of hearts would be equivalent to the 6 of cups in tarot. So you guys might have some kind of childhood dream that hasn't been realized yet, or like what you wanted to be when you grew up, or what you really liked doing when you were younger. It doesn't have to be literally when you were a child, because this energy can also just talk about the past. But I'm kind of getting the vibe of like an unrealized dream for you guys, and what you do as your main job, or what you spend the most time pouring your energy into, isn't necessarily that, but it's something that makes people very happy. It's something that helps a lot of people, and it's something that you get a lot of praise for. Like, I feel like people express a lot that you're very good at what you do, and that they're very, very grateful for you, and that you're amazing. And I think that that feels good, but I think that it would feel even better if you were really doing your passion, or if you were really doing what you love to do. And I'm sort of like concerned when I look at this energy that maybe a big reason that you're not doing this passion is like, I don't want to inconvenience anyone. I don't want to let anyone down. Like if you walk away from the commitments that you already have, or the communities that you've already established yourself in, or the roles and responsibilities that you've been fulfilling, you're like, oh, but these people are counting on me. These people are going to be upset. These people are going to think I've changed on them. Like it's very others centered. And I think that for you, when you've really made it, when you've really found your success and your abundance, it's when you're going to be able to live for yourself. You know, Libra, it does have this message of being a people pleaser and being all about the other, but Libra is also the scales. It's about balance. And I think that when you're truly successful and when you're truly thriving, you can do something that you really want to do, and you can work like for yourself. I mean, choose the field that you're in for yourself, and also be serving others, and also be helping others. I think that's the beautiful balance that you're going to strike when you are truly successful. And with this angel of love here, I think I mentioned before that I'm seeing this as you. I think you guys are incredibly compassionate. There we go. Incredibly compassionate, incredibly loving, very, very caring and thoughtful. I feel like you have so much love to give to the world, but sometimes your efforts might be kind of misguided, in that you are compromising your own needs and compromising your own fulfillment. We want to be directing this angel of love energy into like, I'm doing what I love, I'm fulfilling my purpose, and in that process, I'm helping others and serving others and uplifting others. But I feel like the way this energy is coming through right now is more of a people-pleasing kind of energy, more of a non-confrontational energy. Like, I'm helping people by staying in this role that I don't really want to be in, so that I don't inconvenience them, so that I don't surprise them, so that I don't rock the boat, so that I don't ruffle feathers, so that I don't let anyone down. And I think this is something that would need to be, I don't know if tackled is the right word, but that would need to be addressed so that we can move to your truest success, and so that we can find that balance where others, yes, are benefiting from what you do, but you're also benefiting from what you do. So this is the initial energy that I'm seeing from these cards. So now we're gonna get into the tarot. There's a couple different decks I want to use here. But the very first thing that we have to see is the titular question of this reading. Will you be rich? Will you be successful? Will you be famous? For group number one, let's see what we have. Will group number one be rich? Will group number one be successful? Will group number one be famous? So we have Temperance coming out right away. Sagittarius energy could be significant as well. Hierophant, so Taurus energy as well. And wow, the Six of Pentacles, great. So, the Six of Pentacles is a very, very good sign because it means that any hard work that you guys do is going to pay off. Oh, I want to mention, we have a double number 5 here because Hierophant is the number 5 and Temperance is the number 14, which reduces to 5. So this is all about change. This is all about developments. I do think that you guys can find success, but it would be in something different than what your main job is now or what you're mainly focusing on now. And I think for many of you, it goes back to like taking something off of the back burner, going back to something that you love to do, or back to a dream that was never really given a proper chance. I think it's when you follow your passion that you're going to find your true success. The Six of Pentacles here, it is a very practical and realistic card, but basically it's saying that you have the ability to be as successful and as abundant, like equivalent to the effort that you put in. So if you work really, really hard, you will be really, really successful. If you work a little bit, you will be a little successful. So what you put in is exactly what you put out. And maybe that sounds like, oh, that's so common sense, that's so obvious. But sometimes it doesn't work that way. Sometimes people put in tons and tons and tons of effort for little gain, like nothing comes out of it. So I feel that this is a very positive card to be here, and it's assuring that any work that you guys do put in, you will be given an equal reward. So the potential for wealth and success is definitely here. I like that there's a pregnant person on this card because that also makes me think of, you know, fertility, of having the ability to create something on your own, so you don't have to rely on like the stars to align perfectly for you to be successful and be exactly in the right place, exactly in the right time. I think it's very much with your own willpower and your own work and your own efforts that you can create your own success. Like you don't have to wait for a big break or for a third party to come in and help you. It's very much in your hands. That's not to say you won't get help, and that's not to say that luck won't line up for you. I want to be very clear about that. But you are not at the mercy of those things. You are not helpless to those things. So this is actually a very, very empowering energy to have the Six of Pentacles here. With the Temperance card, one thing with this Sagittarius energy is you guys might find success in a different location than where you are now. Sagittarius makes me think of travel. So you could go to another city, you could go to another country, you could even go to another continent and find success there. Also, Sagittarius energy can talk about higher education, while the Hierophant can also talk about like teaching, schooling, institution, things like that. So some of you guys might be like going to college or university or a vocational school or pursuing some sort of higher education that is going to bring you more success, which I think that makes it also really nice that the Six of Pentacles is here, because it's like, if you invest time and money into those sorts of things, it will definitely pay off for you. But it does look like if you really want to pursue this dream, it would be good to like take some kind of course or pursue some sort of higher education related to it. I do want to say as well with Temperance, because, you know, it does often show me like a journey that is kind of long, that requires a lot of patience. I think that your wealth is definitely something that is going to accumulate over time, like over the span of your life. And you might find that you reach really like your peak of success later on in life. So like, oh, I just noticed the number 49 is here. So like maybe into your 40s, and then we have like the number 5s here, 40s and 50s. I feel like this is when you'll really start to feel like really, really, really wealthy. I think that rather than having a moment of like blowing up and then fizzling out, or like blowing up and feeling the pressure to maintain that, you're just like slowly and steadily climbing. You guys might even be able to retire in your 40s or in your 50s, like retire early, because you have created such a long-term and steady source of income for yourself. It looks like the way you guys achieve wealth and success in general, it's very responsible and it's very consistent. Like you're building some source of income that is very, very consistent for you. And I'm hearing that like it withstands any trends in the outside world, if that makes sense. So, you know, the position that you hold is one that is always going to be needed. It's one that's always going to be that's always going to have business, regardless of what's going on in the world, regardless of how the times might change, regardless of how the trends might change. Like whatever you're doing really has staying power. I'm noticing as well, this could also be indicating that you guys are going to be a teacher of some kind, a coach of some kind, a mentor of some kind. And with the Six of Pentacles here, it definitely shows you having a lot of responsibility. The Six of Pentacles makes me think like you have more power, you have more money, and you also have more responsibility. So yes, I definitely see wealth and success in your future, especially in your long-term future. This might be a type of career where like as you gain more experience, as you have more years under your belt, you're able to make more and more and more money. I'm also hearing like your wealth could be compounded. So maybe you guys are like investing your money, or maybe you've purchased some property, some possessions that value really increases over time. But yeah, I feel like your wealth grows slowly and grows more and more and more and more and more. By the time you reach your 40s and 50s, I feel like you're all set. So you guys could be like set up for an early retirement. Could be 60s as well, because we have the 6 here. In terms of fame, I don't know if I see much in terms of fame, but I definitely see respect. So whatever field you're in, I think you have a very good reputation, and I think you have a lot of authority. Like whatever field you're in, you're really becoming like the expert in that subject. So a lot of people would value your opinion, a lot of people would come to you for advice, and you may be very well known in that particular field, if that makes sense. But let's move on now and see, how are you going to achieve this? And how is it going to affect your life? Group number 1, how are they going to achieve this success? We have the Knight of Swords. And this, oh, look, we have some Gemini energy coming through here with that Gemini symbol. And these, I think this is a panther, but anyway, wildcats, especially black wildcats, they make me think of personal power. So making empowering decisions for yourself. We have the 5 of Pentacles and the 4 of Cups, which came out together. So I'm going to keep them together like this. And then one more for group number 1. We have the 8 of Wands. So one thing I want to mention is that the Knight of Swords and the 8 of Wands both have a lot of speed in them. So this success, you could be on track to achieving the success very soon. You know, we spoke about you guys having this kind of secret dream, or this dream on the back burner, or having this realization that you need to start living for yourself and go after this dream. maybe for many of you, like, you're already in the process of having this realization, you're already making moves towards it, and that's why we see things are moving so quickly for you. But it definitely looks like this energy is gaining momentum. I want to talk about the Five of Pentacles and the Four of Cups together for a second. These two cards that came out together. Some of you guys might be kind of underpaid right now in your current position, or you could be selling yourself short. Like if you're self-employed, if you set your own price, if you're a freelancer or something like that, you might be really lowballing yourself, like really undercharging yourself. Or of course, if you're an employee, you might be getting underpaid. Like you're not being paid fairly or given enough credit for your work. Just overall, I felt an energy in this group, like you give a lot and it seems like maybe you're not receiving enough. But with the Four of Cups, there's a feeling of like there's something that you're not seeing. So this could be something that you guys are not even aware of. You know, like you've always been paid this certain amount. You've always been given this certain amount of reward for what you do without realizing that, like, wow, I should be making a lot more for this, or I should be treated a lot better for the effort that I'm putting in, or I should have already, moved up to this position. Like if it was in a different company and I'd put in this much hours and contributed this much, I would already be up here and making this salary. It's like you got the short end of the stick in some way, and I feel like you guys don't realize it. Or maybe you kind of tell yourself something like, oh, but that's okay because it's not about the money, because I'm helping so many people. But with the scales here, I think you're being reminded, like, it's not an either or thing, like, yes, maybe helping people is the most important, and maybe, having the positive impact is the most important, but that doesn't mean that you can't also be rewarded fairly. You definitely deserve to be rewarded fairly for the work that you do. And maybe there's a little bit of like guilt surrounding that. Like you have some beliefs that it's bad to want money, or it's bad to want material things. Like it makes you less spiritual, or it means that you're in this field for the wrong reasons or something like that. And that's just not true. You can very much have both. You can serve others, you can love what you do, and you can also want to be rewarded fairly and also want the material aspect of it. You really, really deserve to have both. So it's interesting. This is the Knight of Swords, but when it first came out, for a split second, I thought it was the Page of Swords. And this is a card that can talk about like truths that are kind of hard to swallow, or truths that maybe you don't want to hear. Maybe this was an idea that at first you kind of struggled with, and now that we see this as the Knight, now that we see that there's movement happening, maybe this is kind of starting to click for you. And this is something that could help you make the transitions that you need to make. After this, we have a number 8, which is about abundance, which is about new opportunities. The gazelle is like, you had your realization and now you're running off to something new. And, in terms of how you're going to find this success, how you're going to find this abundance, like we saw before, this is very much from your own actions and from your own willpower, which is very empowering. Like you don't have to just wait around for this success to find you. You can make the choice and say, I deserve this now, and you can move towards it. And like I said, I think a big part of it might have to do with you guys pursuing some sort of education, even if it's not in like a traditional institution. I know I was giving a lot of examples about like college and university and things like that. It could be an online course. It could be you guys watching a lot of tutorials, asking for advice from someone who is in this field, private lessons, like a private course. It could be a workshop that you go to. Maybe with that travel, maybe some of you guys are traveling to go to like a seminar or go to some kind of conference or workshop that's, you know, in another city or country or something like that. But educating yourself, I think, is the first step. And I think also meeting other people who do what you want to do. The Hierophant can also talk about a community of like-minded individuals who really encourage you to be the best version of yourself. Temperance also makes me think of like maturing and striving to be the best version of yourself. And, you know, we have Jupiter and Venus here. Like Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, Taurus is ruled by Venus. So those are the planets of money, of blessings, of abundance coming to you. So yeah, I totally see wealth and success in your future. And then again, maybe not fame per se, but I see a very good reputation and a very respected position for you. Okay, so in the final part of this reading, we're just going to take a look at these three oracle cards for some last advice for you or any other messages that you need to hear. So first we have creative hopelessness, that emotional spectrum in creativity. Find support and encouragement, but also investigate this. Are you focused on the right thing or doing what you think you should be doing? Wow. So this is a cool reiteration of what we spoke about at the very beginning of the reading. Are you focused on the right thing? Are you doing what you really want to do or doing what you think you should be doing? I think, and it's not even that you're completely doing the wrong thing, because I think what you're doing right now, you are making a very positive difference in people's lives. You are really helping people. Don't get me wrong. I think you're very, very appreciated. So you have a big chunk of the equation right, because this is what your soul needs to really feel happy and fulfilled and really feel like the effort you're putting in is worthwhile. But I think where you might be a little bit out of alignment is this thing of like, I need to sacrifice what I truly want to do in order to make this positive difference, in order to show up for people, or I need to sacrifice material fulfillment, and it's not really about the money, it's not really about the material aspect, in order to be this good, compassionate person who helps others. And you're being challenged to recognize that you can and should and deserve to have both. And you know what you think you should be doing, you are doing what you should be doing in that sense of helping people, but you can help people and also do what you love. So this is where you're being redirected. And I love that this is a green card, and you guys chose green calcite as well. This has to do with the heart chakra, and you guys as the angel of love. Like, I just know that you guys are so full of love, and no matter what, your heart is always in the right place. But I think this reading is about you redirecting that love and compassion and nurturing towards yourself. We also have healing. This fairy always reminds me of Elsa. Doesn't she look like Elsa? Now is a time for you to give or receive healing. Everyone has a natural ability to heal others. Yes, even you. Yeah, you guys have such a pure and soothing aura about you. That's why people are so drawn to you. And I do think whatever you're doing, you would reach a significant amount of people. Like the word earth angel was coming to my mind before, or like someone who is on this earth to spread love, someone who is on this earth to heal others through what they do. I think that you'll find success where you're able to use your natural healing abilities. And also this rainbow in between the hands is making me think of SpongeBob when he's like, imagination. So maybe being able to use your imagination and your imaginative side is very important in finding your success, or being in a field of work that allows you to use your imagination more. Whether, you know, you're being creative, you're thinking of products, you're thinking of services that people need, you're thinking of solutions, you're thinking of new opportunities, something where because you have this air energy as well, and this 8 of Wands energy. Like, you guys are quite smart, and I think your brain likes thinking up new things or coming up with new things. I think you need something that is intellectually challenging you a little bit more. And I think something that would be very fulfilling for you is knowing that your idea like benefited someone, like someone else found your idea useful, your idea improved somebody's life, or the solution that you found improved somebody's life. Like your brainchild could be of service to somebody else and make somebody's life better. That would be like a really big fulfillment for you guys, in addition to just the process of using your brain and finding ideas and solutions. I think that's very fun for you guys. Yeah, I was literally just saying that's very fun for you. And then we got the card about like fun and enjoyment, and this says, I know how to find light even in difficult situations. This actually might be the very thing about you that is very, very healing. I think something about what you do brings a smile to people's face even when times are hard, or makes things easier on them when times are hard. Or there's something about your smile, there's something about the energy that you give off where normally it might be a very bleak or dark situation, people can find relief in your energy. People can find joy in your energy. You make times that are normally hard easy, and you bring light at the end of people's tunnel. You bring this light, you bring this love, you bring this healing to other people through what you do. And you know, we've been talking a lot about like you guys deserve to be paid fairly for what you do and enjoy the material aspect of things. You also deserve to freaking have fun. Like your work can be fun for you. I think you guys are kind of unlearning this thing of like, I have to sacrifice to make a difference, or I have to sacrifice to be successful. The Six of Pentacles is not about sacrifice, it's about giving and then receiving an equal reward. Sacrifice is like when you give and give and give and don't get anything back. Like you're just parting ways with that energy. And I think that you guys have been doing that for a long time, and it's time for you to experience this Six of Pentacles. Like I put in effort and I get out compensation, I get out recognition, I get out enjoyment, I get out the fulfillment of helping and serving others. It's like this equal give and take, this beautiful inhale and exhale that you guys deserve to experience and that you will experience. So group number one, these are all the messages I have for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick a cards where you get to choose the topic, that will be linked down below too. And I have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to that one or any of my other songs, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number one, I'm sending you lots of love, much love to your spiritual team as well, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye! Hi number twos, so if you guys chose the citrine, this is going to be a reading. Fun fact, citrine is actually known as the merchant stone because it's used to attract wealth. I don't know if you guys knew that when you chose the citrine, but it could be some foreshadowing that we are going to see wealth popping up in your reading. Also, citrine is associated with, it's either Scorpio, like the zodiac sign of Scorpio, or the month of November, or it could be both. But Scorpio energy, Scorpio season, or the month of November could be significant to you guys as well. I also just saw the number 33, which is a number of abundance and manifestation. So there's just really positive energy all around to start off your reading. So the first thing we're going to look at here is these three oracle cards to get our first look at your energy and the types of success and abundance that you guys are in alignment with right now. You can think of this part of the reading as an energy check. So if what I'm describing here does sound like you and your situation, then that would be an indication that this is in fact your group. But if not, you might want to try out a different group. But without further ado, let's get into your cards. So the very first card that we have for you is Leo, the showstopper. achiever. Enthusiastic, generous, magnetic, pretentious, show-off, bossy, extroverted, proud, headstrong, loyal, seeks approval, loving, ruler of the 5th house. Then we have the fish. So this could also be Pisces energy. And then we have healer of the ages. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm getting very, very powerful energy from this group. Like, I think that you guys are going to be a very powerful person in society, or a very influential person in society, or you already are, or you're well on your way to becoming that. Let's just start off with this Leo card. First of all, we literally have you as the showstopper here. So in a reading where we're looking for indicators of fame, I feel like this would be a pretty big one, because Leo is the star. Leo is in the spotlight. So if you guys are hoping to become famous through what you do, I feel like this is a really, really big indicator of that. Also, being the ruler of the 5th house and having these messages of like enthusiasm and passion, I feel like you guys definitely are going to become successful in something that you are very passionate about. With the Leo energy here, it's very likely that many of you would be like in the arts or in show business or doing something creative, or at the very least, you would kind of be the leader. You would kind of be the person where all eyes are on you. You could be in an industry where there are a lot of like pretentious or approval seeking types of people. So I don't know, like something in entertainment, something in social media, no offense to us, but you know, this kind of vibe, like people get hungry for the fame, people get hungry for the spotlight. You may be in an industry where there's a lot of that kind of temptation. With extroverted here, I think you will be in a field where you're really coming out of your shell, or you're really being challenged to come out of your shell. I also love that we have generous and loving here, because this means that whatever wealth you guys accumulate in your life, you're very generous with it. So you share it with your loved ones, or you share it with those who are in need. And I'm getting like warm tingles when I say that. I feel like you guys are very, very generous with your wealth. I think you're going to make an amazing difference in your community, an amazing difference in your town, or even in the world with the wealth that you guys accumulate. You also even have the King of Diamonds on this card, which is equivalent to the King of Pentacles. So that's another huge indicator of wealth for you guys. And the King of Pentacles also makes me think of the best of the best. You are the best of the best at what you do, and you're really gonna earn your position as one of the top people. Like, you're gonna become a veteran of your field. I should also mention, no, it wasn't stubborn, it was headstrong. The keyword headstrong. I do think that, you know, this and the King of Pentacles might be indicating that you guys really, really have to work hard to achieve your success, and you have to be a little bit stubborn. So on the road to the success, you might come up on a lot of roadblocks. You might come up on a lot of rejection or just a lot of challenges, because I'm sort of getting the vibe. It's like you have to really want it. You have to really want it to find your success, but it will be so worth it. And with the King of Diamonds here, you guys are going to find wealth that lasts you for the long term. Like, you are going to enjoy very long-term prosperity in your life. I did this for group 1, so I might do it for you guys as well. But with the numbers 34 and 51 here, this could be showing that like your 30s to your 50s, so like 30s, 40s, 50s are really, really big for you guys, accumulating wealth. So if you guys are in, I know that's a big age group, but if you're in that age group right now, I think that this wealth is going to start coming to you very, very soon, or you're already in the process of accumulating it. If you're in your 20s or if you're younger, it doesn't mean that you won't experience wealth in your 20s. I just think that once you hit your 30s, that's when you're really gonna start raking it in. It means that you have a lot to look forward to right now. And this fish card is literally about like resources and material gains, and you know, the gains that you make from business. So there's so many indicators of wealth and money for you guys in this reading. Like it's crazy. And then even fish reminding me of Piscean energy. That's even more indication that you guys will likely be doing something creative or something that allows you to express your individuality, something that allows you to be flexible. Oh, and also the number 34, when 3 and 4 are put together, it makes me think of someone who has a really amazing balance of masculine and feminine energy, because 3 and 4, it's the number of the Empress and the Emperor. So you have this like bold, natural leader, go-getter, disciplined, organized, structured, persistent kind of energy of the Emperor. And then you also have this beautiful, creative, fertile, the ability to manifest, the ability to nurture your ideas, and that generosity that the Empress has, and flexibility, openness to new ideas, ability to adapt when there's challenges. Like you just have a beautiful balance of masculine and feminine energy, and it's just amazing to see. Like you guys really, it almost seems like you are guaranteed success. I just heard like people are gonna throw money at you, maybe in the figurative sense or maybe in the literal sense. You never know if you're a performer, but wow, that's amazing. I'm also just noticing like, these purple fish and these fairies have pink and blue hair. I just get the feeling you're gonna be in some field where you're allowed a lot of freedom to express yourself. So like if you wanted to dye your hair very colorful or dress very colorful, you can do that. You're not necessarily wearing a very strict uniform or anything like that. But I do think that you guys are going to have a pretty big platform, and you are going to achieve at least some level of fame. And with Healer of the Ages here, I feel like as part of your soul's mission, you are being given this platform so that you can reach a lot of people, and so that you can help a lot of people heal. Like what you have to share, the message that you have to share, and the light that you have to share would heal so many, or would uplift so many. So it's almost like as part of your soul's plan, the universe is like, okay, we have to make this person, aka you, very, very visible. We have to make them very visible. That's really cool. So this is the initial energy that I'm seeing for you guys. So okay, yeah, let's move into the tarot now. There's a couple different decks that I want to use. I feel like we already got our answer in terms of, will you be rich? Yes. Will you be successful? Yes. Will you be famous? Yes. Like I wasn't expecting that all to come out in just the initial energy check, but for you guys it did. So it does seem like, this is something that your spiritual team really wanted to confirm to you strongly right off the bat. I was planning to answer that question with this deck, but let's just see what other information we can get from this deck. For group number 2, what else should they know about their, the Chariot, which is literally about victory, progress, public recognition. There's some Cancer energy here as well. The month of July might be important for you guys because we have like the Chariot is the number 7 card, 3 and 4 adds up to 7. June as well, like if we add up 5 and 1, it could be 6. Like June is the 6th month, and that's June and July is Cancer season. Yeah. So I would say like June, July, August, those could be very important months for you guys. Or someone born during that time, or someone you meet during that time could be significant. I was kind of getting the vibe of a potential partner or a potential collaborator with these 2 fish. We also have the Queen of Wands. Jeez. And the 7, wow, and the 7 of Swords. There's a lot of indicators of fame going on here, you know, with the Chariot being about recognition, with the Queen of Wands about like you're hot, you're admired, you're the center of attention, all eyes are on you. The Seven of Swords, it can talk about, you know, putting on a little bit of a persona. It is a card that talks about deception. So when it comes to situations like this, you know, being a celebrity or being a public figure, it's not like you're being maliciously deceptive, but there's definitely a face that you put on to deal with the public, and you don't want to divulge everything about yourself. It's probably not wise or safe to do so in the first place. And I often say that the Seven of Swords makes me think of social media because, you know, we are very much presenting a curated version of ourselves. You're not seeing the full picture on social media. So it's not necessarily like you're lying to people. It's not that kind of deception, but it's like, you know, you're not seeing the full picture of me, and people might project certain things onto you, certain fantasies or certain ideas onto you. But yeah, I definitely think that there are eyes on you. I think that it's likely you guys would have a large social media following as well, and that people will find you very, very attractive with this Leo energy and this Queen of Wands energy. Like, simply put, you guys are very, very hot and you're very charismatic, or this is something that you guys are working on from now. For some of you, I was getting the vibe that maybe you're just learning how to come out of your shell and feel comfortable expressing yourself and feel comfortable having eyes on you. But when you're in this energy, like, you're so charming, cameras love you, the people love you, and you know, people definitely find your vibe and your aura attractive, but I also don't want to, like, I don't want to discount, if that's the right word, how, like, physically or aesthetically attractive people find you. Something about what you do could be related to aesthetics. I just heard, like, stage designer or set designer. Like, you design the sets for movies or for plays or for concerts or something like that. You could make music videos, like you could be a director of music videos, or like some kind of graphic designer. You could do like the special effects in videos and movies. You could be in modeling, you could be in fashion design. It's like this kind of vibe that I'm getting. And yeah, I feel like you have quite a big following. We have the Chariot here, and it's interesting because this is also a card that talks about balance. And earlier we were talking about you guys having that balance of masculine and feminine energy, which was really nice. I think it's interesting that the person on this card isn't actually in a chariot or in any sort of vehicle. You know, this does talk about you guys being victorious and making progress, but it looks like this person got there on foot. And so, you know, I'm thinking back to that message we had before of you guys having to work very hard to get to this level of success. I feel like, you know, in your journey to success, it's like you didn't take any shortcuts, you didn't get any handouts. Maybe you guys came from like very humble beginnings or a very humble upbringing, whereas, like, you know, I think a lot of people who make it in these types of industries, it's like they already had rich parents, or they already had like famous parents, or they already had connections or something like that. And I feel like you guys, it's like everybody says they started from the bottom, but maybe you guys really did, you know, start with not a lot of advantages. You could also be of a demographic that is, you know, kind of underrepresented in these fields. Like, maybe like you are one of the few women in a certain field, or one of the few of a certain race or ethnicity in a certain field, or of like physical ability in a certain field. So you're kind of like breaking barriers, and I think you're showing people that even if you come from like not such a privileged or advantaged beginning, with your sheer willpower and with your headstrongness and stubbornness, you can make it happen. And also, one thing that I was thinking is that, you know, in a world that can be kind of, you know, heavily edited, heavily curated, like you're picking and choosing what you show to people and only showing your best angles, I feel like you guys bring a breath of fresh air into this field, because you're very authentic and you're very relatable. there's something about you that people can really, really relate to. I'm thinking of this Cancer energy. Cancer feels very homey. Cancer feels very familiar. I think that there's a lot of people who can relate to you and a lot of people who can identify with you, which is a wonderful thing. But I think it can also have its pitfalls, because people might like, you know, identify with you and then they might project like certain things onto you and then be disappointed if you're different. I'm just looking at these two. It could be like some people put you on a pedestal, which is not very fair, and there could be some people who like envy you as well, even though they don't know your full story. Like they don't know enough about you to envy you or say like, you know, your life is like this, your life is like that. So, you know, I think there is a little bit of a dark side when it comes to having this power or having this platform, but I think that you guys will be able to find your balance and really thrive in it, and really find your community that you vibe with. And if I could give you guys one piece of advice with the Queen of Wands when it comes to reaching the success, comparing yourself to others is never useful. It will never be helpful. There's one thing about like drawing inspiration from other people, or saying if that person can do it, I can do it too. But looking at other people and saying their journey looks like that, so my journey should look like that, or why does that person have XYZ and I don't? All of these ways of thinking are really, really going to be your enemy. And I know it's easier said than done, but try, if you have the tendency of comparing yourself to others, or like envying other people's success, or feeling like your journey should look like someone else's, I think that's something that could kind of stand in the way, or that could kind of dim your light, honestly. So let's take a look at the next deck and see. You want to see how you're going to find this success. How is it going to come to you? So we have the Innocence of Pentacles. This is the Page of Pentacles. Also talks about good news in finances and career. Then we have, wow, yeah. So Two of Cups, I was kind of getting the vibe of some sort of partner or a collaborator. And now I'm really, really seeing that. So there's going to be some teamwork in making this happen. And then we have the Moon, so more Pisces energy. And maybe this is kind of hinting that, like, because, you know, these fish reminded me of Pisces. Maybe it's like, yeah, this is the other fish. So there's some partnership or some collaboration that is going to help you reach this success. It's interesting that we have you as, something smells really good. It smells like sweet, like a waffle cone, or like crispy sugar or something like that. I don't know where that's coming from, but that's very nice. Anyway, so it's like vanilla-y too. So you're here as the King of Pentacles, and then you're here as the Page of Pentacles. And I feel like this journey to success is going to happen faster than you guys think. So you might feel like you're in this Page of Pentacles stage now and wondering how you're going to ascend to this king level. And I think that the answer is teamwork. I think that the answer is working together with someone. You see how this little baby cow is like staring at the Two Cups, staring at the partnership, like, we can make this work, we can make this happen. Some of you might not have met this partner or collaborator yet. Some of you might have met them before, but I think that this is someone that you have a lot in common with. Like, you have the same interests, you have the same skills with the Page of Pentacles here. You're working on the same types of projects. Maybe you've actually worked with this person before, but this is encouraging you to, yeah, we're going back to coming out of your shell and putting yourself out there. Some of you guys are still in the process of learning this lesson, like being confident enough to put yourself out there. I'm just having an image of, like, you approach someone and said, like, let's say you're a musician, you're a singer, and you approach a producer like, oh, maybe we can make a song together, maybe we can work together. And they're like, yeah, sure, send me your demo, or like send me your vocals, let's do it. And then you never send them your vocals because it's like you're nervous, you're maybe like you're scared and you're sabotaging yourself. But I'm kind of getting that vibe for some of you. It's like the door has been open for this collaboration, this working together, but you might feel a little bit scared. Maybe this is someone that you feel is like above you in terms of like talent or skills or in terms of experience. And I'm kind of feeling, yeah, with you being advised against self-comparison, I feel like it's wrong to look at it that way, because there might be things that are your strong suit or whatever, your strong set, your strengths, and there might be things that are their strengths, and things that you're really good at, they might be lacking in. So, you know, it's unfair to judge based on that one criteria that the other person is good at and say, because I'm not good at that, I'm no good. Because the beautiful thing about collaboration is when you have different skill set. I was thinking of skill set and strong suit, and then I said, what did I say? Strong set. The beautiful thing about collaborations and the beautiful thing about the Two of Cups is that you're each bringing your own cup to the table. You're bringing the yin, they're bringing the yang, or you're bringing different things to the table, and then you become twice as strong. If you were bringing the exact same thing to the table, then like if you're getting together to make pizza and you both bring the dough and nobody brings the sauce, then you don't have a pizza. But okay, you guys get what I mean. It's a good thing if you're good at different things, and you don't need to be comparing yourself to someone else and saying, I need to have the strengths that they have, I need to be good at what they're good at. You need to be good at what you are good at and bring your stuff to the table. And I think being open to teamwork is something that's going to be really, really amazing for you. For some of you, this doesn't even have to be a personal relationship. This could just be like finding someone online, finding someone on Fiverr, finding someone who will, you know, make you a beat, or who will sell you a course, or, you know, but reaching out, coming out of your shell and combining your efforts with the efforts of other people, I think is like your first step to reaching this success. And we do have the moon here. We have Venus in Pisces, so some of you guys could have Venus in Pisces, which if you do, shout out, because I am too. I have too. I also have it. But this would kind of suggest that there's fears or illusions that are holding you back, especially when it comes to you being in a beginner mentality. And maybe it has to do with like social media, or, you know, comparing yourself to these very polished versions of people. It's like you want to start, but you want to already be at like level 50 when you start, because you think that's the standard, because most people don't show their level 1, and most people don't show their level 2 and their level 3. And most people who are really successful and in the public eye, they have a ton of help. They have huge teams behind them. They have a bunch of training behind them. It's not fair to compare yourself in that way, or to expect the same things from yourself. And so it's like you're putting a little bit of an unfair standard on yourself. And I think becoming comfortable with being this Page of Pentacles and finding your strength in being this Page of Pentacles is going to be a really big help for you guys as well. It's that feeling, quite simply, of like, just get started, just do it, whether you're level 1, level 2, level 3, whether you're this little baby cow or this big bull, like go for it, come out of your shell. That's the really like recurring feeling of this reading. So we're gonna finish off the reading now with a few oracle cards for some last advice for you and any last messages that you need to know. Creative deep dive. In search of treasure, but it's okay to lose the map. Go deep. Magical blessings. Whatever you're going through, you're being assisted by magical fairy blessings. It's interesting because there's like little fairies riding on the fish. Fairies might be around you, or they might be a symbol that you guys continue to see. The fairies say you can bless others too. Yes, so you're gonna get this platform because you're able to heal, you're able to uplift others. This card reminds me of the Three of Cups as well, like communities coming together. So, you know, there's a lot of indications of like teamwork, of collaboration, of coming together. And it's not, like I said, it's not necessarily a personal relationship or with a specific partner, but just being open to not doing this alone and combining your efforts with other people's efforts, and not being afraid to offer that collaboration or to ask for that help or to express that desire to work together, because you are good enough and your talent deserves to be seen, and other people could also benefit from your talent. And then we have matter. And this says like, I'm blooming in the physical world. And I think there was kind of a similar message in group 1, where something that you guys might want to work on is feeling worthy of material blessings and knowing that it's okay to want them. You know, being a little bit materialistic or wanting to enjoy the material side of life, there is nothing wrong with that, and you deserve that kind of luxury. With this creative deep dive, I'm getting kind of trailblazer vibes from this, honestly. Like, you're making your own path, you're paving your own way. It's okay to lose the map. It's like, you don't have to follow some blueprint or some textbook for success. You don't have to do it the way everybody else is. If I could also give you guys some advice, sometimes there's people, and I think this would exist in any field or any industry, you know, there are some gatekeepers who, for whatever reason, they feel like they have the formula to success. And I think maybe they just like feeling very knowledgeable and they like feeling very accomplished. And they're like, oh, you want to do that? Well, then you can't be doing that and you should do it like this. And then if we're like naive or we're not really in that industry yet, we're like, oh, well, this person must be right. This person must know what they're talking about. And that can really, really stick with us. I know that I've been kind of like messed up by those kind of views before. I feel like it exists even in the community of foreigners living in Japan. It's like, oh, don't expect to get a visa if you're doing that. You can't live in Japan. And it's like, come on, let people have their dreams. Let people try different ways. So, you know, you might come across certain people like that on your journey, and please, just because they have more experience than you, just because they've been in the whatever longer than you and they appear really, really competent, if they're saying something that is limiting, like, if you want to be successful in this industry, you got to do blah, 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 blah. And if that doesn't feel good, if that feels restrictive to you, if you just get like a bad vibe from that, you do not have to take that person's word as a be all and end all. And that's why it's very important to get second and third and fourth and eighth opinions. Ask around, communicate, and again, that's coming out of your shell. So yeah, group 2, it does seem, like I said, it will take a lot of effort, if I'm being honest, but it's going to be so worth it. There is so much indication of wealth, so much indication of fame and recognition, and there's a lot of indication of you guys belonging to a beautiful community as well, belonging to a very inspiring community, and you're bringing this breath of fresh air and this authenticity to whatever field you guys are stepping into. So I'm very, very excited for you guys. You have magical blessings coming your way. And group number 2, I think I'm going to end your reading here. So thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick-a-cards where you get to choose a topic, that will be linked down below too. And I have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to that or any of my other songs, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 2, I am sending so much love to you, your spiritual team, your community, anyone you may happen to collaborate with. I'm wishing you all the best, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Hi number 3s, so if you guys chose the Celestite, this is going to be a reading. We're going to start off this reading by taking a look at these 3 oracle cards here, and this is going to give us our first look into your energy and the types of success and abundance that you're currently in alignment with. You can think of this part of the reading as an energy check, so if what I'm describing here does sound like you and your current situation, then that's an indication that this is in fact your reading. But if not, you might feel called to try out a different group instead. But yes, without further ado, let's get right into it and see what your first cards are. So group number 3, we're starting off with Mars, ambition, assertive, aggression, war, Aries or Scorpio, Tuesday, confidence, impulsiveness, strength, action, sexuality, passion, desire, and determination. We have the clouds, and yin and yang. So the number 22 might be significant for you guys. These actually make a date, like 6 and 22, June 22nd might be an important date for you guys. Also, like this coming Tuesday, because we have Tuesday on here, something big could be happening for you guys. But wow, okay, let's take a look at the energy that we have here. First of all, with Mars, this is quite a masculine energy. We have the signs Aries and Scorpio here, so you guys could have dominant Aries or Scorpio placements, or Aries season or Scorpio season could be significant for you. I think it's very interesting that we have Mars, and then on this card we have the King of Clubs, which in tarot would be equivalent to the King of Wands. So it's this like masculine, fiery energy that is coming through with you guys. Ambition, confidence, assertion, strength, determination. I think that you guys have a very strong work ethic, and I think you're very clear about what you want. And this is a very like defining trait that's coming through for you guys that you would really know if this is your group or not, is that I feel like this group is very certain about what they want, and you know what they want to be successful in, and what they want to bring them abundance in this life. You know, I don't think that this is a group that would have come to this reading to see like, oh, let's see what's gonna bring me success, let's see how I'll find my abundance. It's like, no, I know what I want, I know what I'm striving towards. I just want like the confirmation that I'm gonna succeed at it. I want the confirmation that I'm gonna be victorious. Like, you're not looking for the what, you're just looking for the yes or no. That's kind of the vibe that I get with this group. If you guys are not sure where you're gonna find success, or what you want to do, or what you want to be successful in, you may, I don't know, if you really feel called to stick around and see what the other messages are, I'm not going to tell you not to do that. But if there was another group that you guys were drawn to, maybe you would want to check out that one, because I just feel a lot of certainty and a very strong sense of like direction, and I know where I'm going from this group. Like, I know where I'm going and I'm determined to get there. I think this is a group that would have something that you're very, very passionate about. And with Mars ruling over like Aries in the first house, I feel like you guys have something that you really identify with. You know, like, I don't just like playing football, I am football, or something like that. It really feels like a part of you. It really feels like something you identify with, and something you care a great deal about. So with this card here, clouds, this is the clouds card, but I'm like pretty sure it is. Let me look in the guidebook, because I remember there's a card that I would mistakenly call the mountain, but it was actually the clouds. Yeah, this is the clouds. But the mountain always stands out to me quite a bit in this card too. And I think that I'm going to interpret like both the symbolism of the clouds and the mountain together. Clouds can symbolize a period of unknowns, of uncertainty, of confusion, like not knowing what lies ahead. And mountains can represent challenges. And you know, with this ambitious, like go-getter, strong energy coming up to the mountain here, I do feel like on this journey to success, there will be challenges that you need to face. But with yin and yang, and with the number 22, and with the number 6 here, which is also about balance, you know, with all of this yang energy that we see very strongly in this reading, I think you're being encouraged to bring in a little bit of yin, to bring in a little bit of the feminine side. And I think what I'm trying to get at here is that there's an energy of maybe being forceful sometimes, like being forceful with the universe, or being forceful with your higher self's plan, or being impatient. So that when we come up to these mountains, maybe we're trying to just bulldoze over this mountain. And I'm hearing the phrase like, well, this isn't like an expression or anything, but I'm hearing like some mountains weren't meant to be moved. And I feel like this group could benefit from sometimes being in a more receptive energy, in a more patient energy, and in a more flexible energy. It could be that you're just very, very eager to get to your goal, so that, you know, you see divine redirection as like a setback or a delay or an obstacle to overcome. You're like, no, I have to get to my goal. I have to get to my goal. But maybe for some of you guys, like it could very well be that, you know, it's not the right divine timing just yet for your success, or you're not in the right place, or you're not in the right environment yet. And when some things don't work out for you, I do feel like sometimes it's protection. Sometimes it's like, oh no, this isn't the right opportunity yet. This isn't the right company yet. These aren't the right partners yet. It's not the right time of your life yet. We haven't reached a certain level of maturity yet. I feel like there needs to be a little bit more like flow and a little bit more allowance for the divine plan to take place. So, you know, I'm not going to say that we need to stop taking action, or that we need to stop being confident in knowing what we want, because the ideal is the yin and yang. The ideal is the balance. So it just seems like we need to like pull back a little bit from this Mars energy, from this masculine energy, and bring in a little bit more of the yin, a little bit more of the feminine. And I'm sort of getting a vibe that maybe for some of you guys, there's like a need to rush because of like you're in competition, or like in your head, you're in competition with your peers or with someone else, or you need to prove to people that you can do this and that you can be successful, whether that's like you need to prove it to yourself, or you need to prove it to like your peers or just society in general. But I feel like there's a need to slow down with this group and not be so hard on yourself, and not always be trying to get to the next goal and the next goal and like hustling. And we need to remember to just live, and, you know, not put all of our value on like how much are we succeeding in this, on this path, or how far have we come towards this goal. I just heard the quote, well, I'd heard it before, but the quote came into my life again yesterday. It's like, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. And it's someone's quote, but it was used in the context of like, we're always so busy trying to get to a destination and like having tunnel vision. Like, I just need to hustle. I just need to keep working hard, and then I can relax. And while we're doing that, this beautiful life is unfolding around us, but we don't have that receptive or flexible, peaceful, feminine energy to just sit back and bask in it, and sometimes allow life to just happen to us. We don't always need to be moving the mountains. Maybe sometimes we can just stand by the mountain and admire its beauty and dance in the rain and and be still with it. With the number 22 as well, you know, this is like an angel number. This is a number that we would often consider a synchronicity if we saw it out in our lives. I feel like the universe is also saying to you guys that there's so many beautiful signs and synchronicities, that the universe is by your side, and that your guides are with you, and that your guides love you, and life is so beautiful. It's like this feeling of encouraging you to stop and smell the roses and just take a look around and soak it all in. Like, you're alive. The fact that you're here is a miracle, you know? Also, the phrase like you're a human being, not a human doing, has been appearing quite a bit for me in the past few days. Like, I'd never heard it before. And then in the past day, I saw it like 2 or 3 different times. So I don't know, maybe I need a little bit of this message as well. But that really stuck with me too. You're a human being, not a human doing. And I think this is about you guys like mastering the art of just being. And like, my goals will be waiting for me. My opportunities will be waiting for me. But this today only happens once. And maybe this incarnation only happens once. I'm not sure. But enjoy life while it's happening to you. And yeah, I feel like a little bit of like tunnel vision, or like working really hard, hustling really hard with this group. And I think we need to be more flexible about like, right now is not necessarily the best time to have everything you want. Maybe we need to be a little bit more mature before we reach this level of success. I'm thinking of an oracle card in a deck that I don't even have, but it's the Iris Oracle deck, and it says everything you need too soon, or everything you want too soon, or something like that. I just really feel the vibe with this group to slow down and enjoy your success more gradually, and enjoy the journey more. Maybe some of you guys are in the mindset of like, I can enjoy myself when I get to the top of this mountain, but for now I just need to struggle and push my way through this mountain. And it's like, maybe if you had just been a little bit more patient and danced in the rain for a while, the universe would have come and just bloop, moved this mountain for you. Sometimes I feel like you guys are exerting yourself where you don't need to, just out of impatience, or just out of wanting to prove to yourself or prove to someone else that you can. And it's like, do we need to prove ourselves though, or can we just be? So that's kind of the general vibe that I'm getting from this group. I feel like this group, again, is like very specific, so you would probably know from this description if it's your group or not. But let's move into the tarot now. So in this part of the reading, we're going to answer the question, which is the title of this reading. Will you be rich? Will you be successful? Will you be famous? So we have the 3 of Cups and Balance. I believe that this is Temperance. And then we have the 7 of Pentacles. Okay, it's interesting that the 7 of Pentacles comes out, because this is a card that talks about being patient. I think that you guys will definitely reach the success that you're hoping for, but I feel like it's something that, and this is actually something that's been kind of consistent throughout all of the groups. It's like your success coming to you gradually over time. So maybe many of us, like as a collective, are struggling with like instant gratification, or, you know, wanting like a big blow up, or wanting a big break in our life. And I think you guys are going to be going through a huge perspective shift, maybe in the next like 2 or 3 years, where like your values are changing, or what you place importance on is changing. And it's funny because it's like the success that you want is definitely coming to you, but you're moving out of this energy of feeling like you're you're really yearning for it, you're really striving for it. And it's like, I feel you guys just like exhaling, just letting go and enjoying your life and having a well-rounded life. And then, you know, a few years go by and you look around and you're like, wait, I have all of the success that I wanted. I have all of the wealth that I wanted. But that's weird because it never felt like I was, you know, working my fingers to the bone to get it, or that I had to like strive really hard. And it's because you were going with the flow. It's because you were respecting the process of the universe and allowing it to go at its own speed. And what I feel like when you slow down, that's when it becomes very easy. I think a lot of the resistance that you guys feel, or a lot of the like challenge that you guys feel, is like trying to do too much too fast. Maybe you have it in your head that you need to reach a certain position by a certain age, or reach a certain amount of money by a certain age. Like you're putting some kind of time limit on your own excellence. It's like you're a beautiful flower or a beautiful tree, and you're trying to force yourself to grow faster, but that's doing a disservice to the flower or to the tree. 7 of Pentacles, a lot of the time, it gives me feelings of like, you know, the analogy of plants growing and every plant being beautiful and having its like unique time to, I think germinate is the word, and then bud and grow. I think for a lot of you guys, this, I guess I could even call it like a toxic masculinity. I'm not saying that you guys are like a toxic masculine, but I feel that you've internalized, because society's rampant with toxic masculinity. So I think it's natural that any of us would start to internalize some of that just as we are in the world and exposed to the narratives. There's this idea of like the more output, the better, or the faster you can get something done, the better. It's like very much about quantity, and it's very much about like competing and being the best and making more and doing more and hitting higher and higher heights. And life is happening all around us while we're striving for that. And also, you know, what's been following me around is like very successful people or celebrities. Like I was just watching, and I need to finish it, but it's Nicki Minaj, and she was saying like, I think it was when she was first like getting famous and getting very successful, and she was touring and stuff, and she missed her little brother's elementary school graduation, and she gave up on so many like gatherings with her family. It's like there's so many things that we sacrifice, like, yeah, like the hustle comes first, or like I gotta hit these goals. And you know, it may not feel like a lot when we just say no to that one thing here, or we miss that one event, or we miss that one gathering. But when you look back years later, like all of those little things are all those little pieces make up your life, and they make your life worth living. And we don't want to look back one day when we're on our throne with all our money and be like, what does this all mean? Like, what was this really worth it? And I feel like you guys are going through this huge shift where you're coming back to your slow, receptive, loving, nurturing, feminine energy that really values connection, and that really values closeness, and that really values just being and appreciating each other. Like you're coming back to that peaceful. I feel it like in my stomach when I don't know, when I explain this energy, I feel it like in my stomach. You're coming back to this, and you're just enjoying your life. And then when you look back, you're like, wow, I reached all my goals. I think you're going to reach all your goals. It's going to take longer than what you're envisioning right now. But by the time you get to that point, you're going to be very happy with that. Like, I'm just saying an arbitrary number for an example, but let's say I told you you're going to be successful in 5 years, and you're like, 5 years? Like I was hoping to reach this goal in 1 year or 2 years, but the you 5 years from now will be very happy with that. And you're going to have such a full 5 years. You're going to have such a beautiful, well-rounded life. You're going to have you know, we spoke about this in the intro of the video. There's so many different kinds of abundance. And I think that you guys are definitely going to have an abundance of love in your life. With the Three of Cups here, you're going to have amazing friendships and you're going to make a lot of memories. In the next couple years, I think that you guys are going to be a part of like a lot of celebrations and milestones. So maybe someone's graduating, like the Nicki Minaj example. Maybe you're going to weddings, maybe there's a birth in your family, there's like birthday parties, there's gatherings, and I see you guys just being surrounded by your loved ones, friends, both new and old, and feeling very present and just living your life and just enjoying being. And then, yeah, like having balance in your life. And then when you look back, it's like, oh, it didn't have to be so difficult. It didn't have to feel like such a hustle to hit my goals. I just needed to give myself more time. I just needed to give myself permission to have a more well-rounded life and not make these goals everything. And then it's like the second I stopped chasing them, they just came to me so naturally. Because when you stop chasing them, you're allowing for the divine plan to unfold, which was perfect from the start. Wow. Okay, so there's another deck that I want to use. And we're going to see how you will achieve this success. We have the Heart of Wands. So this is the Queen of Wands. That's interesting. We have the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands. Maybe some of you guys in this process of enjoying your life, like it involves you like spending more time with your significant other or spouse, or meeting your significant other or spouse, like meeting the one, getting married. Of course, you don't have to be a man and a woman, but King of Wands and Queen of Wands do make a pair. We have the High Priestess and the Sun, which came out together. This is interesting with the Queen of Wands here. And then we also have the Magician. Awesome. Okay, so there's a ton of major arcana going on here. Yeah, that makes sense, because in this part of the reading, we want to see how you're reaching the success, how you're reaching these goals. And this is overwhelmingly major arcana, which is like, it's up to the universe. It's up to fate. I personally think that souls choose like how involved they want fate to be in their life. So it's like even the presence of fate in our life is kind of free will. At least that's the way I see it. So a soul might come to this earth and say like, just let me do whatever. And then another soul might say, you know what, I want to really experience in this lifetime how the universe can work in my life. And I want to come to appreciate fate and appreciate surrender. So they might have an experience where their life feels very fated, if that makes sense. And I feel like in this lifetime, maybe you guys chose to have a lot of things seem fated. Like a big lesson for you is to appreciate how divinely orchestrated this world is, and how if you just sit back, everything will work itself out for you. Of course, combined with your own desires and combined with your own inspired action. But it's like you're realizing you never had to force it. You never had to try so hard to control everything. And I feel there's like a catharsis in that. Like you don't have to prove yourself anymore. I feel this group kind of carries the weight of the world on their shoulders, feeling like everything is expected from them, or they have to perform, or they have to prove themselves, or they can't let themselves down, they can't let someone else down. And I feel like we're putting that burden down and saying like, I can just be now. It's okay, I can just be now. I definitely think that the goals you guys want are going to stay the same. I definitely think that the goals you guys have are in alignment with what your soul really wants and what you're truly passionate about in your heart. But I do think that with the Queen of Wands here, it's like, as you build more confidence, like true confidence and true self-esteem, not like I feel good about myself because I have these accomplishments, because I have these stats. It's like I feel confident in myself because my value is inherent. When you have that confidence that you don't have to prove, or that it's not conditional, again, it's not that you stop wanting the things that you want, but you don't feel the need to push this mountain or to try to move this mountain, and you just admire it and keep walking and wait for the clearing. It's like I don't need to chase anything. I don't need to be desperate for anything. I don't need to force anything. I don't need to push anything, because I already have my source of happiness coming from within. And I think as you grow this confidence, your confidence in the universe is going to grow as well. We have the High Priestess here, which is all about not chasing. Not chasing. And with the Owl, having that deep knowing that what is meant for you will come to you. And with the Sun here, see, we still have our Mars energy. We still have our Mars. This is a very feminine card, and this is a masculine card. And I love that they came out together. So, you know, we're not trying to kill this masculine energy. We're just trying to introduce a healthy balance between the masculine and feminine energies. And the Sun is all about inspiration. I definitely think this is talking about you guys taking inspired action, and also being just a lot more inspired in general, and having a lot more creative ideas in general. I think you'll actually find that the more you rest and the more you slow down, the more creative inspiration comes to you. And slowing down and resting could even, I know it's ironic to say slowing down could speed things up, but it's like a slow and steady wins the race. Not that it is a race. We're moving away from that mentality, but you guys know what I mean. Sometimes it's actually it is more efficient to take breaks. It is more efficient to rest, because you avoid burnout and you recharge and you become inspired again, and you go out and live life again, and you come back with new ideas. It's as if, like, as a tarot reader, if I was just filming readings every single day, I'm gonna run out of stuff to talk about. Like, I have to take breaks. I have to go out there and live my life, and I have to ignore people saying like, when are you gonna post again? Why don't you post as much? Because you don't want me to. Trust me. You don't want me to be posting stuff every day, because I'll have no new ideas. I'll have no, even now, sometimes I just feel like I'm repeating myself a lot. I need new experiences. I need to get out there and live and have other stuff happen to me and be in a receptive state. If I'm just constantly in a giving state, giving messages, I'm gonna run out of stuff to give you. I have to be out there receiving too. And I'm not trying to make this about me. I just thought it was a very apt example of like why it is important to have this balance. Even if your goal is productivity, even if your goal is success, even if your goal is results, it's okay to keep that as your goal, but we have to also understand the importance of like the fluctuation of needing downtime, of needing those periods to experience life. And I think even Nicki Minaj was saying the same thing. She was saying the same thing in her talk. It's like, if an artist is just always like touring and doing press and releasing new stuff and always working, eventually what are they going to write about? Like, they will have nothing worth writing about anymore because they haven't been living. So I think slowing down is really going to give you guys the inspiration that you need. And with the Magician here, I have no doubt in my mind that you guys are going to reach the success that you're wanting, because the Magician means you have what it takes. It means that anything is possible for you. It means that you will manifest your dream reality, but there's just the need to be flexible and be okay with taking the time that this needs to take. So let's take a look at your at your final cards now to see if there's any last advice or any last messages for you. We have creative envy, not useful, kills creativity, whether coming from you or someone else, a misuse of energy and focus. Interesting. We also have lost and found. What was once lost is about to be found, thanks to the lost and found fairy. Sometimes she can help us find things we never even realized were lost. Oh, some of you guys maybe need to spend more quality time with animals, like just animals in general, or maybe you have a companion animal who really misses you. And then we have, is it omniscience or omniscience? I don't know, but anyway, it says, I already know the answers to my questions. It's interesting that we have this deep purple theme going on here, because this is a color that definitely makes me think of psychic energy and psychic abilities. So yeah, I feel like what you guys want is very, very much in alignment with your soul's purpose and what your soul wants. High Priestess is very intuitive and psychic as well. I feel like some of you guys, it's like you've always known what you were meant to do. You've always known what you wanted to do, and that's why it's so important to you. I think that this card is really sweet, like this idea of lost and found, and sometimes she can help us find things we never even realized were lost. I think for a lot of you guys, when you're stepping into this Three of Cups energy and this balance energy, you're coming back to yourself, and maybe you guys are learning how to just be and identify yourself outside of what you do, or identify yourself outside of your goals. Like, you're remembering that you're not just Nicki Minaj, you're also Onika, like that. Thank you, Nikki, for giving me so many examples today. Like this, you know, you have inherent value outside of what you do and what you produce and what people think of your journey. And I also think that this lost and found can be like, not that you're losing sight of your goals, but you're sort of releasing them and doing other things. And then next thing you know, this success, this abundance that you've been hoping for, it's found again. Or it never really left. And you're like, oh my gosh, my goals were realized. This was the success that I've been dreaming of. But it feels so much easier. It feels so much more natural. And then with this card, envy. Envy is not useful. It kills creativity, whether coming from you or someone else, a misuse of energy and focus. There may be some people that you guys compare yourself to, especially with the Queen of Wands. I often see her kind of surrounding the theme of like comparison, comparing yourself to others or envying others. And you know, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but it's this idea of like success and status and reputation and material possessions aren't everything. So, you know, you might be envying someone or comparing yourself to someone who appears to be like way more successful than you, or way more wealthy than you, or way more famous or popular than you, or whatever it might be, and think like, wow, they really have the life. I wish I had that life. But you might not see at what cost they are living that life. Like I said before, maybe that person is you know, missing the birth of their niece. Maybe that person is missing Thanksgiving or Christmas or other holidays. Maybe that person is missing a lot of time with their significant other or with their friends, and maybe this person is losing touch with people. It's like we have to balance, and we have to think about, like, if I'm pursuing this, what is the cost of that? And if we only value one side of the equation, then we could mistakenly envy someone who has that side of the equation, if that makes sense, without considering what they might have given up for that, or where other areas of their life might be lacking. And I think the best approach is like a moderate one, a mellow one. Again, I'm not sure if this is justice or temperance. I'm kind of getting vibes of both, because I mean, they're both about balance, but temperance is also about moderation, you know, going through life with a gentle approach, with a moderate approach, and, you know, not ignoring, you know, every plant in our garden needs water, not just one that we deem the most important for whatever reason. Every area of your life deserves to be watered, and every aspect of you deserves to be watered. So the answer to this question for group number 3 is yes, but we just gotta take a breath out and slow down and enjoy life more in the process. And I think your goals are being realized later than you maybe would have liked to hear today, later than you're planning, but the version of you in that moment will be very happy with it. Okay, so group 3, these are all the messages I'm seeing for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick-a-cards where you get to choose a topic, that will be linked down below too. And I have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other songs, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 3, I'm sending so much love to you and your spiritual team, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Hi number 4s, so if you guys chose the fire quartz, this is going to be a reading. I think that this is also called strawberry quartz. I believe they are the same type of quartz, but anyway, fire quartz, strawberry quartz, group 4, this is your reading. So we are going to start off by taking a look at these 3 oracle cards to get our first look at your energy and the types of success and abundance that you're currently in alignment with. You can think of this part of the reading as like an energy check. So if what I'm describing here does sound like you and like your current situation, that's an indication that this is in fact your reading. But if not, you may feel called to check out another group instead. But without further ado, let's get right into your reading. So the first card we have for you, group number 4, is Comet, unexpected, disruption, disturbances, significant events, realignment, uncertainty, abnormalities, unknowns, messages, wild card. Interesting. I feel like I haven't pulled this card from this deck before, or I don't know, it just seems new to me. And then we have the Child here, and a man holding a heart. So we have some interesting energy coming through here. I'm gonna start with this Comet. This is definitely a card that's talking about some surprising twists and turns. So there's a couple different ways I could interpret this. It could be that for some of you, the area in which you're going to find success and abundance is completely unexpected. I can definitely use myself as an example for this because, you know, I never expected that I would be like a tarot reader, that I would have this YouTube channel. It was just something that I was doing for fun. So, you know, something that like, if you knew this is what's going to make you successful, if somebody told you right now, it might completely surprise you. It could be something that you don't even know you're good at yet, something that you don't even know you're passionate about yet, or it could just be that you never really considered it something that could make you money. This could be something that like the times are changing, new ways to make income are popping up, you know, with the internet becoming a bigger and bigger thing. Another example that's coming to my mind is like, let's say you guys, someone really likes to play video games, but you know, maybe they're thinking, but I could never be like a video game designer, or I could never make a video game. So, you know, I couldn't make money from that. But then maybe they start like a Twitch, or they start doing live streaming, playing games, and they, you know, amass a huge following, and then that becomes their source of income. So it's like, I always knew I liked this, but I just didn't know that that could bring me wealth, or I didn't know that that could make me successful. And then again, for others of you, it could be something completely new, like a new passion is about to enter your life. I feel like some of you guys, I see this like derailment where it was like you were well on your way on a certain career path, you were well on your way to complete a certain major, and then this passion just comes out of left field. This thing just comes out of left field and lights you up. and you're like, I gotta pursue this. For some of you, maybe this has already happened. And so this is like your confirmation that yes, this was divinely orchestrated. And yes, this is a path that is worth pursuing. It is worth making that change. For others of you, this could be kind of a heads up, like this unexpected moment is about to happen for you. But I feel like you're totally being encouraged to go for it. Because what I'm seeing here is, you know, for something to light you up like that, for something to make you so passionate, that's very rare. Like it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm thinking about comets, you know, there's like comets that we only see every 70 years or 100 years or whatever it is. Like the appearance of some comets is literally a once in a lifetime chance. And it doesn't mean that you're only going to have this one chance to pursue it, but it's that you should honor that passion. You should honor the way this thing lights you up, because that's very rare. You know, you should embrace the rareness of this disruption in your life. So I think the advice for you guys is to be open to disruption in your life, to be open to some derailment, because it is very much part of the plan. I'm looking at the number 13 that we have here, and this is making me think of the Death card in tarot that talks about release. It talks about endings and beginnings, the death of one cycle and the birth of a new cycle. So it seems like some of you guys might be releasing or leaving behind old paths and going on something completely new. Something that you would not expect right now. Or if you told the version of you a year ago that you would be on the path you are now, it would just be like crazy. But there is some new cycle that is starting in your life. 45, there's not a tarot card number 45, but this number adds up to 9, which is about ascension, which is about, again, cycles ending, we're moving up. And 4 and 5 together, it's like things are changing, but you're on the right path. There's crazy change happening in your life, and it might seem chaotic as you're living it, but it is so destined, it is so controlled, it is so orchestrated, like it's all part of the plan. I feel like some big fated event is coming to, you know, like when you knock a comet to change its course. Oh my gosh, and I just saw 555. Woo! Like something big is coming to change the course of your life. With the child here, for some of you, this could be pursuing a childhood dream or getting back to a childhood dream, or it could be indicative that you kind of feel like a child again, in that things are new, things are fresh, exciting. Maybe you're feeling a little bit clumsy, like you're not sure how to navigate these changes. You feel like you're a baby learning how to walk as you walk along this new path. You're back in a beginner place where you never thought you would be again. With the man holding a heart here, I think this is very, very specific, but for some of you guys, this unexpected change in your life could be the arrival of a child into your life, like falling in love with someone and having a child, and this could all be happening very fast. You know, like you meet someone, it's love at first sight, you get together, and now there's a child coming. Again, very, very specific for a few of you, but I just had to mention that. Or like meeting the love of your life could be the unexpected thing that changes the course of your life. It could also be meeting someone that you form a very, very deep bond with, and they ignite this passion in you somehow. Like maybe they do this for a living, and then, you know, that really, really inspires you. For most of you, I do feel that this man holding a heart is someone that you would be intimately involved with, that you would have a very, very deep bond with. It could be something that is happening remotely, or I guess like parasocially might be the right word. For example, you see someone on social media who is figure skating, or you encounter your favorite musical artist who is like performing on the stage, and you're like, oh my gosh, first of all, I love this person. You feel like a strong affinity for them. And then they kind of change everything. You're like, that's it. That's what I want to do. Almost like someone is coming to activate you, so to speak. So I hope that I'm not losing you guys here, because I can just see this playing out in so many different ways. And I apologize, because I know that sometimes it can get confusing when there's like a lot of different people watching, and there's a lot of different ways that things can play out. But I think the main takeaway from this is that if it hasn't happened already, something's coming very, very soon to introduce a new path, a new way of being successful, a new way of making money to your life that's very unexpected, because you either didn't know you were good at this, you didn't know you liked this, or you always liked it but didn't know that you could monetize it. Like the Twitch gamer streaming example. You're feeling like a kid again, or things are feeling new and excited again. You're likely being inspired or activated by someone you love. And for very, very few of you, this could be like falling in love and having a child, or falling in love with the future parent of your children. That's really changing the course of your life. Okay, so let's get into your tarot now, because we want to answer the question that this reading is all about. Will you be rich? Will you be successful? Will you be famous? Okay, so we have the 9 of Wands, the 6 of Wands, okay, and let's get one more, and we have the 10 of Swords. All right, so these cards are coming out very quickly. I just want to mention that. And also, they're Wands and Swords, which are the 2 faster moving suits out of the 4. So there's a lot of fast energy going on here. Again, I feel like this comet either already happened to you, and this is just like your confirmation to take the new path and to embrace the unexpected, or this is coming to you very, very, very soon. I think you're definitely about to enter a chapter of your life that is extremely abundant in love. I feel like a lot of you guys are falling in love, not just like falling in love with your passion, but falling in love with someone, or getting even closer to the loved ones that are already in your life. You know, we spoke in the intro of this video, there's different kinds of abundance, and you guys definitely are having an abundance of love in this chapter of your life. I seriously feel like my heart could explode right now, or like my heart is a balloon that's about to float into the sky. It feels like light as a feather, but it feels so full at the same time. And I feel very, very giddy as well. Yeah, this unexpected comet moment is about to come very, very soon. I like this. This is like the positive version of a tower moment. You're having a comet moment. I like that. But yes, the 9 of Wands talks about something like it's almost here. You're almost at the end. You're almost at the end of a tough cycle. I think it's very interesting that there's a full moon that's right behind this person and is very, very big. I'm thinking of the full moon as intense emotion, and it's about to sneak up on this person. What's kind of interesting is that I do see you guys gaining some kind of fame or gaining some kind of recognition. But for some of you, you weren't planning, you know, like maybe you never like saw yourself being a public figure, or you never were one of those people who wants to be famous. In fact, maybe you considered yourself a very like low-key or private person. I feel like this is like unexpected fame, unexpected recognition. Yeah, for some of you, it's like you found this success and abundance and you weren't even trying, and that's what's unexpected. Because with the 9 of Wands and then the 6 of Wands and then the 10 of Swords, it feels less of like an active decision of, okay, I'm gonna quit my job and I'm gonna start this new project. And it's more like, I'm working my job and it's okay, you know, it pays the bills. Or maybe you're like, I really like my job, but you're completely in something else. And then maybe you're doing something else on the side just for fun, or you just started this project and you weren't expecting it to go anywhere, at least for a year, you know? Like, oh yeah, I'm starting a side business, but these things take years to get off the ground. Like, we're just in the early stages. And then all of a sudden, it just blows up. There's this kind of unexpected blowing up that is happening for you guys. you know, you hear stories of people, oh, I just posted my song on SoundCloud and then I went to bed and I woke up the next day and it had 100,000 streams. Or it's that kind of like overnight sensation sort of vibe that I'm getting from you guys. Maybe it's not literally overnight, but you know, maybe you started a YouTube channel or you started an online business and you were expecting it to take years to go somewhere, and then in a matter of months you're like, oh crap, I'm actually making a significant amount of money from this. What's going on? Or like maybe you guys are getting scouted out of nowhere, you're getting approached out of nowhere, and you're like, okay, but I'm not gonna quit my day job, like I'm just gonna, you know, try this for fun and see what happens. You know what I mean? Maybe you auditioned for something as a joke and then you actually got it. It's that kind of feeling, like sudden, unexpected, you're blowing up, you're becoming famous, or you're becoming very well known or very successful in a kind of short time while you're still doing something else. With the Ten of Swords here, I do think that many of you would feel inclined to keep this going and maybe leave behind what you were doing before. So, you know, when your passion project takes off, when your social media takes off, when your business takes off, whatever it might be, you know, it's a very pleasant surprise. I think you guys are going to feel very, very good about yourself with the Six of Wands here. And then you might decide to stop doing what you were doing before. So for a lot of you, it's less, like I said, it's less of like a, I'm gonna quit this to fully pursue that. It's like, while I was doing this blew up over here. And I'm like, oh, maybe there's something to this. I'm gonna put more energy into this. And then eventually you leave behind your old gig. I think it's very interesting that we have snakes on the Ten of Swords card, and we had that death energy before with the number 13. I don't know, I think maybe this is supposed to be the Jack of Spades, which it could be the Page of Swords or the Knight of Swords. I definitely think there's Knight of Swords energy here, because it's like things are happening so fast. But Page of Swords could also be talking about, like, Page of Swords makes me think of friends, and friends who are talking. Going through this kind of blowing up moment, it might expose some people who are snakes in your life. Like some people who were kind of happy to keep you at a lower level, if that makes sense. I'm just thinking like you found this success. For many of you, fame is coming with it, and you are finding this love, or you're really celebrating this love in your life, and it looks effortless, because in many ways, well, it's not like you didn't put effort, but it seems like it came so easily. I think even you are going to be surprised at, you know, how fast things change in your life, or how easily things changed in your life. It's funny, we have 1, 3, 4, 5. It's like the 2 is missing. Like you just jumped in the fabric of time. You just like skipped a step. It almost feels like you're in some parallel reality, because things have shifted so fast and in such a major way. And I don't know, I feel like that could bring some kind of envious energy out of people, or some people around you. It's like their true colors are coming out, like, oh, I don't think this man holding a heart is good for you, or like, yeah, well, you're viral now, so enjoy your 15 minutes of fame, you know, like just saying comments like that. Or you got to think about what you're going to do when this dies down, because this isn't going to last forever, you know, just making comments like that. And they may make some good points, but it's the intention behind it. It's the reason they're saying it that is a little bit snaky. It's like they're not saying it because they actually care about your long-term prosperity. They're saying it because they want to kind of rain on your parade. So I don't know. I think some of that kind of energy would be exposed during this process. This is almost kind of like Pluto energy, like a massive upheaval, and things are being exposed for how they really are. But that comes with the good and the bad. So the snakes are being exposed for snakes, and the men holding the heart are being exposed for the men holding the heart. The people who truly love you and care for you and are going to stand by you are also exposed for that. And your talented self is exposed for being your talented self, and people are taking notice. So it's like everything is out in the open. Yes, it's very powerful energy. So let's move on to the next tarot deck, and we'll see more about how you're going to come to this success and how it's going to impact your life. Oh my gosh, it's death. So there will be things to release. There will be things to let go of. We also have the Lovers. Oh. And the Nine of Swords. Okay, so yeah, I guess your reading is a little bit different, because in other groups it's been showing us like, oh, what do you need to do to achieve this success? But in your case, it's very unexpected, and it kind of feels like something that is happening to you. So I think this part of the reading is further elaborating on how this is going to affect your life. I do think this is one of those, like, I don't know if be careful what you wish for because you just might get it is the right expression, because you're definitely getting something good. It's not something that you don't want to wish for. But, you know, maybe sometimes we wish that our life would change overnight. I just wish that what I want, I just wish that my manifestation was here now. But sometimes when things happen very soon or happen very suddenly, it can be difficult to adjust to. And I just feel like the magnitude of this success and abundance that you guys are hitting, it's just a lot and it's fast, and I think that it might be kind of difficult to adjust to at first, which is okay, but it's just something to be aware of. I think it's really interesting that we have death coming out here, because with the number 13, I have been talking about death quite a bit, being about endings and release, and the Ten of Swords is about that as well. I don't necessarily think that I want to like reiterate too much on this, but I do like that we have the phases of the moon here, because it's making me think of like, this too shall pass. You know, the cycle of the moon is always going to complete itself, and so if you're struggling during this transition, this feeling of discomfort is also going to pass. These emotional fluctuations are also going to pass. And also this white rose, roses make me think of, you know, delicate and sensitive, and white flowers make me think of purity. So I guess you could be dealing with feelings of like imposter syndrome, which I see sometimes in these kinds of readings, or like guilt that you're receiving all of this success, guilt that you're receiving all of this attention, you know, like I don't deserve this, or someone else deserves it more than me, or, you know, the people who are being snakes to you, even though as an outsider they're objectively being snaky and objectively being not cool, maybe there's a part of you that feels bad for them, or that feels like you're in the wrong. It's like whatever they're saying to make you feel bad, or to make you feel like you're in the wrong for being so happy. Like how dare you live such a happy and fulfilling life without me? Or, you know, if they're getting to you like that and making you feel bad, I feel like this white rose is here to remind you that you're pure. Like children as well, it's a symbol of purity. Like you've done nothing wrong, and this success was well deserved. If it happened organically, and if it wasn't well deserved, then so many people wouldn't be admiring you and being inspired by you. Like that's just how it happened, because you have a light, and your light was seen, and your light is being celebrated now. And I think there might be some kind of nasty thoughts getting in your head, like I didn't deserve this, or I got this, I went about this in the wrong way, or I shouldn't have this. You know, those kind of, almost like the devil, even though the devil isn't here, those kind of thoughts might be coming into your head. And the white rose wants to remind you, well, that too will pass, and that you're pure and that you're worthy of this. I like that we have eagles as well. Eagles are also a symbol of Scorpio. So there's a lot of Scorpio-y energy coming from here. So maybe you're a Scorpio, or this man holding a heart. Doesn't have to be a man, by the way, which I'm sure you guys know that. Could be a Scorpio. Gemini energy is here as well. I feel like this man holding a heart is going to be, you know, this close connection is going to be by your side through thick and thin. And this is someone who's going to continue to lift you up. When you're reaching these heights, you'll notice there's people who want to fly high with you and want to keep pushing you to fly higher and higher and higher. And then there's people who want to drag you down. And of course, you're being encouraged to stick with those who want to fly high with you and who want to see you continue to fly high. Even if that means you're flying higher than them, they would keep pushing you up. They would keep cheering you on. And that's what this man holding a heart is, and that's what this lover is. Definitely getting strong romantic vibes, as I'm sure you guys can tell, but if that doesn't resonate with you, feel free to think of this as like a friend connection, a family connection. But yeah, this is giving strong vibes of like a new love interest, or your current spouse, or your current significant other. It's something like that. I feel like, yeah, there's a certain relationship that's going to be blossoming a lot during this time. And I'm hearing like keeping you sane or keeping you grounded during this time. With the 9 of Swords, this is about worries and anxiety. And I think that, you know, because it's difficult to get used to, I'm just thinking of, you know, in the example of somebody, like let's say their YouTube channel goes viral. It's like they have to get used to receiving all these comments. Like, yes, there's a lot of positive comments, but now they have all these people that they don't know criticizing them, and they've never had to deal with that before. You know, in our normal life, sure, we might have like, you know, sometimes our boss might criticize us, or a family member, but that's like one person. When you have hundreds or thousands of people talking about you, it's kind of an unnatural experience for humans. Or I don't know, maybe to future generations that seems very normal, but I feel like it still feels like kind of a foreign experience, almost like we're not built to be under that much scrutiny or be able to process that number of people being invested in us or having an opinion about us. And so I feel like adjusting in that way might be difficult, where it's like for a while you're like, you want to please everybody, or you want to say something back to everybody, and the art of just being like, let them think what they want, let them say what they want, that doesn't affect me. That is difficult to master, I think, because again, it's a concept that I feel like our brains just, it's a weird, the internet just makes things weird. It creates closeness where there isn't really that much closeness. It creates like importance where maybe there really isn't that much impact on our real like 3D life. It's a lot to take in. And so I think having this loved one, or these loved ones that you can rely on during this time, is really going to save you, and is really going to help calm you down. And if it's any comfort, I think the 9 of Swords is often like things that we're so worried about, but in the real world or in real life, it's not going to materialize. It's not actually going to impact us. It's just kind of like we're getting in our head, which is still very, very scary. Getting in your head and not being able to get out is very scary. But it's like when you come back to earth, you realize that everything is okay. So we're going to finish off this reading now with a few last oracle cards to get more advice, or if there's any last messages for you. We have creative boredom. Did you take a wrong turn? Are you doing the thing you really want to do? That's why I feel like the comet is coming to knock you. Like, it's time for a new adventure. It's time to spice things up. It's time to stir the pot. It's maybe you guys, yeah, there was a message of realignment. And yeah, another group had this as well when it came to like the how part of the reading, how you're going to find the success. We have 2 out of 3 major arcana. So yeah, this is a fated redirection. your soul is like thirsting to be realigned, thirsting for this new adventure. We also have inspiration. Be prepared, as you'll soon receive a visit from the Fairy of Inspiration. Come dusk or dawn, she can call at any time. Yeah, you guys are being awoken, or you're being reawoken with this new passion in your life. And then we have gratitude. I am appreciative of every experience that life brings me. This journey, it definitely seems like a roller coaster. It can definitely be a lot at times, but I think that when you look back, you'll be grateful for all of it. You'll be grateful for the boredom. You'll be grateful for your previous path, for your previous job, you'll be grateful for your previous connections with the snakes. You'll be grateful for the comet that came and shook things up, for the man holding a heart, for the child, whether this is a child you're having or your inner child. And you'll be grateful for the Nine of Swords too, for the worries and having to deal with that, because everything made you stronger, and everything was a part of this amazing plan, of this amazing journey. So it may feel crazy as you're living through it, but you'll come to find gratitude for every step of it. And at the end of the day, you might have like an abundance of fame, you might have an abundance of success, but I think that what really makes you the happiest at the end of the day is the abundance of love that you have, the loved ones that you have in your life that love you for the eagle you are, and who cheer you on when you are soaring, and who also keep a home for you where you can be grounded, where you can have your 2 feet on the ground, and where you can feel really, really safe. Yeah, so group number 4, these are all the messages I have for you today, so I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick a cards where you get to choose the topic, that will be linked down below too. And I have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in checking out the full version of that song or any of my other songs, the music channel will be linked down below for you too. Group number 4, I'm sending lots of love to you, to your man holding a heart, to the eagles, to the snakes, to the child, to the comet, to everyone and everything, as I'm sure you will be doing along your journey as well. And much love to your spiritual team. And I thank them for facilitating this reading. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.